Traveling the world is an incredible experience, exposing us to new cultures, breathtaking landscapes, and exotic adventures. But not all tourist destinations are created equal. Some of the most beautiful and awe-inspiring places on Earth can also be the most dangerous. Whether due to natural hazards, political instability, or wildlife encounters, certain locations require an extra layer of caution. While the allure of adventure draws many to these hotspots, travelers need to be fully aware of the risks they face when visiting such places. In this video, we will explore 5 of the world's most dangerous tourist destinations, why they're risky, and what to keep in mind if you decide to take the plunge and visit. Mount Everest, Nepal. Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world, and for decades it has been a bucket list item for extreme adventurers. The allure of standing on top of the world is irresistible for many, but this feat comes with significant risks. The death zone above 26,000 feet, 8,000 meters, is infamous because the air pressure is only 1/3 of what it is at sea level, meaning the human body can't survive there for long without supplemental oxygen. Everest presents several hazards, like extreme cold. Temperatures at the summit can drop to -40 degrees Celsius, -40 degrees Fahrenheit. Exposure for long periods of time to these low temperatures without the proper equipment can cause serious damage to the body. Altitude sickness. Many climbers suffer from acute mountain sickness, AMS, and more severe conditions like high-altitude cerebral edema, HACE, and high-altitude pulmonary edema, HAPE, can be fatal. Avalanches. Unpredictable and deadly, avalanches have claimed the lives of many climbers. Crevasses, deep cracks in glaciers that can be hidden by a thin layer of snow. Exhaustion. Climbing Everest is physically grueling, and the slightest misstep can lead to fatal accidents. If you're set on summiting Mount Everest, here are a few key things to remember. Proper training. Climbing Everest requires a high level of physical fitness and specialized mountaineering skills. Many people spend years preparing for the climb. Health checks. Get a thorough medical examination to ensure you're in the best possible condition. Acclimatization. Spend time acclimatizing at lower altitudes to help your body adjust to the thin air. Hiring an experienced guide. This is not a place to go solo. A Sherpa guide who knows the mountain well is essential for survival. Understanding the risks is very important. Realize that no matter how prepared you are, summiting Everest is inherently dangerous, and many people never make it back. Despite these risks, the thrill of reaching the top of the world keeps drawing adventurers to Everest's slopes. It's a test of human endurance and spirit, but for every success story, there are sobering tales of those who never returned. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Rio de Janeiro, with its stunning beaches, iconic Christ the Redeemer statue, and vibrant culture, is one of the most visited cities in South America. However, it is also known for its high crime rates, particularly violent crimes such as armed robbery, muggings, and drug-related violence. Many of these incidents occur in the city's favelas, shantytowns, but tourists are also frequently targeted in more popular areas like Copacabana and Ipanema. The risks in Rio include street crime. Pickpocketing and snatch theft are common in crowded tourist areas. Armed robbery. Tourists may be mugged at gunpoint, especially in secluded or poorly lit areas. Drug gangs. Some neighborhoods are controlled by drug gangs, making them extremely dangerous. Police corruption. Unfortunately, some law enforcement officers in Rio are known to be corrupt, and they may even collude with criminals. While Rio is a dangerous destination, it's still possible to enjoy its beauty if you take the right precautions. For example, staying in safe areas, stick to tourist-friendly zones such as Leblon, Ipanema, and Copacabana, and avoid venturing into favelas unless on a guided tour. Be vigilant. Keep your belongings secure. Avoid flashing expensive items like jewelry or cameras, and don't use your phone on the street. Regarding transport, use licensed taxis or ride-hailing apps like Uber rather than public transportation, especially at night. Also, a travel insurance can be a good idea. Make sure your insurance covers theft and medical emergencies. Even with these precautions, it's wise to remain cautious in Rio. While the city offers a tantalizing mix of urban excitement, natural beauty, and cultural depth, the risks can't be ignored. Many travelers return with wonderful memories, but the danger of being in the wrong place at the wrong time is ever present. The Danakil Depression, Ethiopia. The Danakil Depression, one of the hottest and lowest places on Earth, is located in Ethiopia's Afar region. It is an alien-like landscape, complete with active volcanoes, salt flats, geysers, and sulfur springs. The region is extremely inhospitable, with temperatures frequently exceeding 50 degrees Celsius, 122 Fahrenheit. Beyond the heat, volcanic activity and toxic gases from the sulfur springs pose significant risks. Key hazards include extreme heat. Heat stroke and dehydration are constant threats in the Danakil Depression. Volcanic activity. Active volcanoes like Erta Ale spew molten lava, and eruptions can happen without warning. Also, toxic gases. Sulfur dioxide and other gases released by the Earth in this region can cause respiratory issues or even death if inhaled in high concentrations. Finally, the border disputes. The region is close to the border with Eritrea, and tensions between Ethiopia and Eritrea can sometimes escalate, making travel dangerous. If you're drawn to this otherworldly destination, preparation is key, so traveling with a guide is highly recommended. Never venture into the Danakil Depression without a local guide who understands the risks and the terrain. Bring ample supplies. Bring plenty of water, as dehydration is a serious risk. A minimum of 4 to 6 liters of water per person per day is recommended. Protect yourself from the heat. Wear light, breathable clothing, use sunscreen, and take frequent breaks in the shade. Monitor political conditions. Be aware of the political situation in the region, as tensions with Eritrea can make this area volatile. The Danakil Depression is one of the most unique places on Earth, and its surreal beauty has captivated many travelers. But it's also a deadly environment where one mistake could be your last. For those seeking the ultimate adventure, few places are as remote or as dangerous. Chernobyl Exclusion Zone, Ukraine. The Chernobyl Exclusion Zone, site of the worst nuclear disaster in history, is a haunting tourist destination. Following the 1986 meltdown at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, a 30-kilometer exclusion zone was established around the disaster site due to the high levels of radiation. Today, the area is open to guided tours, but it remains highly radioactive, particularly in certain hotspots. Possibly the greatest danger in the Chernobyl zone is the radiation. While most of the area is considered safe for short visits, there are still pockets of high radiation that can be harmful if exposure is prolonged. Wildlife. The zone is now home to a variety of wildlife, including wolves and wild boar, which can pose a danger to humans. Decay of infrastructure. Many of the abandoned buildings in Pripyat, the ghost town near Chernobyl, are structurally unsound, posing risks of collapse. If you're intrigued by Chernobyl's eerie history, here are some things to consider. Book a licensed tour. The Ukrainian government only allows entry into the exclusion zone through official licensed tours. These guides know where the radiation levels are safe and where to avoid. The best to do is following the safety protocols. Do not touch anything, and avoid sitting on the ground or placing your belongings down. Radiation particles can cling to surfaces. Wear protective clothing and understand the risks. Long sleeves, pants, and sturdy shoes will minimize your exposure to radiation. Radiation exposure is cumulative, so the longer you stay, the more dangerous it becomes. Keep visits brief and don't stray from the designated safe zones. Despite the risks, the Chernobyl exclusion zone offers a rare opportunity to witness the aftermath of one of the 20th century's most significant disasters. The stark abandoned landscapes are a sobering reminder of human error and nature's resilience. Acapulco, Mexico, was once a glamorous getaway for Hollywood celebrities, but in recent years, it has become one of Mexico's most dangerous cities due to violent crime. Drug cartels and gang violence have plagued the region, and while tourists were once largely spared from this violence, that is no longer the case. Acapulco now holds one of the highest murder rates in the world, and tourists have been targeted in robberies, kidnappings, and even murder. The main dangers in Acapulco are related to violence from drug cartels. Rival cartels battle for control of the drug trade, leading to shootings and other violent crimes. Robberies and kidnappings. Tourists are sometimes targeted for their perceived wealth. Corrupt police. Some law enforcement officers are known to be involved with the cartels, making it difficult to rely on police protection. Despite the danger, some tourists still visit Acapulco for its beaches and nightlife. If you're determined to go, here are some tips. Stay in tourist zones. Stick to the main tourist areas, which are better patrolled by police. Also avoid venturing into unknown neighborhoods, especially at night. Use trusted transport. Only use reputable taxis or hotel transportation services, as some unlicensed taxis are linked to criminal activity. Keep a low profile. Don't flash expensive jewelry or large amounts of cash, and avoid discussing your travel plans in public. Stay informed. Monitor travel advisories from your government and stay updated on the security situation in the region. While Acapulco still has beautiful beaches and vibrant culture, its current security situation makes it a high-risk destination. Many travelers have reconsidered their trips to Acapulco, opting for safer alternatives in Mexico like Cancun or Playa del Carmen. Visiting dangerous destinations can offer unique experiences that aren't available in more conventional tourist spots. However, these places come with real risks, and travelers need to be fully informed and prepared before embarking on such journeys. Understanding the dangers and taking the right precautions can mean the difference between the adventure of a lifetime and disaster. The best piece of advice I can give you is to travel smart. If you decide to visit any of these places, planning, research, and a healthy respect for the dangers involved are essential. And while danger can add a thrill to travel, safety should always be your first priority. Stay safe and keep exploring.